exhale, let it go. And you could come close, but don't touch, infecting all of me. It's overcome and too much. Why don't you let me be? Intoxicated soul, remember what you are. If I could lose control, fall back in. If it makes you feel alive again, and you try to hide away.
I saw was the glow of a message that never came. Then the glow of a world that went away.
Straight from my disease,
Do you believe me when I say I'm never like this? Do you need me the way you say you do? Treading lightly through the water, through the light and darkness. If I'm not careful, my love might consume you. Pulling me back into my body, I wanna take my time with you. Your lips are gonna haunt me if what you say is true. Pulling me back into my body, I'm just a dead man walking. I'm just a pawn, but nothing hurts better than you. Pulling me back into my body, I'm just a dead man walking. I'm just a pawn, but nothing hurts better than you.
Good morning, chat. Welcome on in, everyone. How you doing? I hope everyone had a lovely night. I am not tired this morning. I actually got sleep, which is good considering what I have to do today. Okay, wait, shit, I forgot I don't have my model on. Hang on 1 second, I'll be right back. Is though, the Tamagotchi is actually working perfectly. What the no, they do. You were seeing things. You were seeing things. I love KDA, yeah. Can I not use the app? Failed my mod test.
If what you say is true, pulling me back into my body. I'm just a dead man walking. I'm just a pawn, but nothing hurts better than you.
I failed backwards. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Oh, that was funny. Oh, I got everyone right except the third one. Oh my god.
You almost got them all right.
Ah.
How did you get them all right and yet
If I'm not mistaken. Because fuck you, get on the floor, everybody walk the dinosaur. But dinosaurs. But dinosaurs. But dinosaurs. But dinosaurs. But fucking hydras. More fucking. All right, I've got the model out now. Okay, so welcome on in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well today. Today is a very special day because I get to play one of my favorite games. And that game is Darksiders 1. Now I'm very excited because I'm a big Darksiders fan. Darksiders 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, like period. Like the thing that I love the most about I like Darksiders 1, don't get me wrong, but Darksiders 2, man, The amount of build diversity you can do in that game, Darksiders is such a good trilogy. Yeah, I haven't played the third one. I heard mixed things. Like people said it was too Souls-like-y. And then I still need to play Darksiders Genesis. But Darksiders is one of those series that I just like I love it because I remember playing Darksiders 2 when I was younger, and I fell in love with the series from there because I played Darksiders 2, went back and played Darksiders 1, and just like had a blast. I never finished Darksiders 1, but I am interested to play it again. So I just remember struggling on the Samael boss fight in Darksiders 2 a lot. And then that stupid puzzle on that giant fucking undead dragon thing in like the realm of the dead. God, I can't wait to get back into this because like this is like my favorite Zelda clone. I have only completed 1 and should fix that, honestly. Yeah, 2 was actually better than 1 in pretty much every way. 2 is like one of the best games ever made. Like I would say it's one of the best game sequels ever made because they made so much. They added so much to the combat in that game. Okay. So anyway, speaking of Darksiders, why don't we get into some Darksiders today, shall we? Okay, we're gonna start a new game. We'll just do normal. If you want to see Apocalyptic, go watch another Twitch stream, because Apocalyptic is actually pretty hard in this game. Man, I am excited. I haven't played this game in forever.
Dawn of time, the armies of heaven and hell have waged an endless war. Drawn to the conflict was the Charred Council, an entity bound by ancient laws to preserve order and balance. It held that any great power, unchecked, threatened the very fabric of the universe. In time, heaven and hell came to honor the council and its laws, for none were beyond the swift and terrible justice of the council's enforcers. A fearsome brotherhood known as the Four.
Fuck the Charred Council. Fuck the Charred Council.
Turmoil, the first humans emerged. The council foretold that these weak but cunning creatures would someday be integral to the balance. Thus, a third kingdom was named, the Kingdom of Man. By order of the council, a truce was forged between heaven and hell. The Great Pact was bound by 7 seals, to be broken at the appointed time, when man's kingdom stood ready for the end war. A battle that would bring balance and determine the ultimate fate of the 3 kingdoms.
The way this game starts is just so insane. Oh, and this is the first trailer that ever came out for Darksiders. Rest in peace, Visual Games. I really hope that hey Candace, good morning. I really hope that the new Darksiders is not too Souls-like-y, and I want it to be more like the typical hack and slash we've gotten. Yeah, this was the first trailer for the original Darksiders. Yeah, this is the apocalypse war from the Bible. Quite literally, Darksiders is actually based off of biblical mythology. God, can I just say I always have loved the monster designs in these games, especially Darksiders 1. 2 was really good too. Like I love the Absalon's design in that game. But I love the designs of the different demonic monsters in this game as well. I like the angel designs too, but like the monster designs of like the different demons is just way cooler. There's our boy. There's war. Mr. Big Gauntlet himself. Definitely not the time to go outside. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Wait, why is my controller not working? Hold on. Fuck. There we go. Oh, it's so brutal. I love it. Come on, big boy. Come on. Come on, big boy. Well, that guy's dead. Damn right I'm here. Yeah, these humans are fucked. Oh, are they gonna try to fight? Oh yeah, I forgot the angels are also the bad guys. Probably should, just saying. Might be a good idea. Might be a good idea for you to yield. Yeah, now I can't use my big powerful form yet. Oh, yeah, that guy's dead. That guy's certainly seen better days. Warning, bridge is closed until security level. Whatever, okay. Yeah, that's cool. I like it when a building collapses behind me. Bridge is closed until further notice. I think you might need to evacuate, just saying. Like, because the apocalypse from the Bible is happening. Damn it, fuck. That shit. Forgot the dodge button. Okay, it's right bumper. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is definitely not the time to be going down to the local 7-Eleven, just saying. Yeah, you know, it's just, this is the perfect time to go down to a 7-Eleven, grab a slice, and just like chill out. Like, clearly, this is the perfect time to do so. Perfect time. Perfect time, absolutely. Okay, goddamn. Jump on horizontal wires to grab and traverse them. Okay. Feet. I don't want to fall on that. Hello, citizen. That guy's just sitting on the roof. Yeah, I think he ran. Probably the smartest thing to do in this scenario. All right, here we go. There we go. More demons dead. That's great. Yes, I am killing my own kind, but it's fine. Damn. What did that helicopter ever do to you, man? Jesus. Shit. Oh, right. Hold on. Forgot I could throw cars at people. Here we go. Where the fuck do we go now? Am I supposed to go? Can't go across this bridge. Kind of destroyed. You know, hell's coming through. Oh, this way, okay. No, I guess I go that way. Wonder if I can kill a human. Wonder if it's possible. Hello, citizen. Oh, damn. Hello, citizen. You'll be seeing my brother soon. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? They could have fixed the audio a little bit though.
Impossible. Abaddon. What is this? Where are my brothers? This cannot be. The final seal.
My lord!
How did this happen? The seventh seal was not broken!
Abaddon! What in heaven's name have you done?
I answer the call.
Jesus Christ, that man's a big boy.
Slaughter!
Dancelin, thank you for the raid. Really appreciate it. Okay, why is my controller? Hey, take car, asshole. Pick another car, asshole. I heard you pretty well face, huh? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Okay, there we go. I am beat. Why are you beat? Well, what happened? Also, wins resolve. Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Pick another car. Finish Lies of P main game. I hope it was fun though. I haven't finished Lies of P yet. I every time I've tried it, I don't know. Fuck. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Gonna hit the shower, get myself something to eat. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, stab him right in the eye. Only played Darksiders 2 and 3. Yeah, I've never finished 1, so. Why is it so quiet?
Has been broken. And so have you, horseman.
Why is it so quiet?
The law is clear. When the seventh seal is broken, 4 horsemen shall ride forth to punish the wicked. Be they sons of men, lords of heaven, or the dregs of hell. All on the earth will be judged, and the pact forged anew. You forget your post, horseman. You forget the law. No call was given, yet the destroyer marched, and there you were found, under his black banner, if the claims are true. To hell
That's
with
not
your
true.
claims. The seals were broken. I was summoned. Then where are the other horsemen? Were they not summoned as well? The 7 seals are hidden, as they have been since the pact was forged eons ago. All of them intact. There was no call. You aided the Dark Ones, broke a sacred covenant that has doomed mankind, and threatened the balance. Do you deny it? When I rode, heaven and hell were already at war. Abaddon was there. He knew something. Abaddon fell, fighting off the chaos you unleashed. I fought powerless against the demons, and still you accuse me? Your defeat proves nothing. Likely the Destroyer cast you aside when he was finished with you. You have defiled the law, Horseman. You will be punished. I serve only the Council. Only the balance. As the Horsemen always have. Send me back. I will punish the ones responsible. How? What hope do you have against the Destroyer's armies? You are powerless. Then I will fail, and the demons will have carried out your sentence. Very well. You will return to the Earth, but you will be watched. Come forth.
And then we get the best character in the game. The Watcher, played by Mark Hamill.
The Watcher is bound to you. It will ensure your loyalty.
Remember that, or I will really get under your skin.
Rise, war, and arm yourself.
Literally put on a demonic ankle monitor on me. Okay, that's great.
Chaos Eater. The angry blade thirsts for destruction.
I haven't played Dark. Oh my lord, I haven't played Darksiders in years. Hi, Gordy. How you doing? How you doing, man? Yeah, I haven't played this game. Hi, Saw. You like this game, dude? Darksiders 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. Darksiders 2 is like one of my genuinely favorite games of all time. I don't know why my controller keeps disconnecting. That's so weird. Can't use my keyboard because it's not keyboard compatible, so hold on. I don't know why this happens. You know, I love Darksiders. I love Darksiders so much.
Seek the demon Fulgrim. Few can afford his services, but perhaps you can strike a bargain.
The Council confers with demons now, does it?
Since the truce was broken, some demons have fallen from the Destroyer's favor. Fulgrim is one such outcast. He has long sought an audience with us.
How long have I been here?
Okay, we've got humanity is officially dead, by the way. Yeah.
Looks like our trajectory was a little off. Not so fast, horseman. Let's lay down a few ground rules.
Okay, Mark Hamill.
Until this is over, you're a dog on a leash. I say bark, you bark. And if I have to kick you, you'd better not bare your teeth. Understand? Or should I teach you to play dead?
Man, the Watcher's such a shit fucking character, but he's played by Mark Hamill, so I'll allow it.
Good boy.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare call me a good boy, you fucking dingleberry. All right, we need to find Fulgrim. Okay, here we go. And we have zombies. Because why the hell not? Why not fight zombies in the apocalypse? Is it really an apocalypse without zombies? Is it really?
Here comes the welcome party. War, why don't you introduce yourself?
I will. All right. Let's try to get out of here. Oh boy, big boy, here we go. That was convenient. Drop down? Yes, I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to drop down. I think I'm supposed to like try to leap across there somehow. Okay, let's jump across over here. Let's move. Oh, there's a pipe over here. Okay, okay. Gotta grab onto the pipe. Normally if I'm paid money to grab onto pipe. Down or up? I'm supposed to head down. Right? No, maybe. Oh, okay. I see where I'm supposed to go. Okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh man. Oh chat, I wanted to say this on Twitter yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to. Apparently we almost got robbed yesterday. I know it's wild, but like, yeah, for real, we almost got our asses robbed yesterday. So, me and Necker were coming home from running errands, right? And, well, essentially what happened was that, my dog might have seen someone come and try to break into the house. And I think they opened the door. And then all of a sudden, he just jumps out, like barking. And then we come home, the door's wide open, and my dog's like patrolling the front yard. I'm just like sitting there, like, how in the fuck did you get out? Like, but no, apparently he was stopping someone from robbing us, which was, it was fucking awesome. Damn, okay. God, this brings me back to my childhood of like playing like fucking Soul Reaver on the PS1 and stuff. This was the kind of shit I was into when I was younger, like old school Soul Reaver, fucking Darksiders, original God of War. I was really into that kind of stuff when I was younger. Still am. Like that was something I never grew out of. Like, it's just a phase. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm almost 28 years old and I'm fucking still playing these types of games. That's the beauty. Oh, Jesus, fuck. Okay. Probably shouldn't have wasted that healing item, but it's okay. Me in my 30s still playing these types of games? Yeah. Like I said, like the title says, war. War never changes. Oh, finally a demon. Finally a challenge. I just threw a table at you. What are you gonna do about it? Beat his ass. Come on, War. Oh, there we go. Finally. I never understood why developers do that, where they close off areas. Is that like done to like prevent backtracking or what? Or maybe it's just like so it's not as resource intensive. Just throwing guys left and right. Ooh, piece of candy. Crossroads. Yeah, I don't know why the music's so muted in the cutscenes.
How long was I gone?
In Earth years, about a century, long enough for the last of the mouth breathers to die off.
Then, the Third Kingdom is lost.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are still humans left. Like, I think in Darksiders 3, they revealed there's like one last colony of humans. And then in Darksiders 2, you actually meet a human and like you kill him to basically bring him back to the afterlife.
Subtle. I almost didn't hear you coming.
Vulgrim.
The Council finally took me seriously. If so, you're surely not empty-handed, for this shall be the briefest of introductions.
Ah, Vulgrim.
There were a few young ones. Spectacular.
Ew.
You seek the power behind the one called Destroyer. You will find the answers and the font of his power there. Oh, such haste to die. You aren't even a shadow of your former self. You wouldn't last a heartbeat. Besides, the way to the tower is shrouded by demon magics. Even I do not know the way.
Who does?
Samael.
Feed my hunger, and I'll feed your curiosity.
All right, well, I guess we're doing this. Gotta get 500 souls for him. That's great. Got a few chests around here that we can loot. Yay, we can actually kill a demon. That's gonna give us a lot of souls. Motherfucker. I'm on. Oh my god, fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn it, fuck. Why did I die on the first fucking mission? Nothing, Fulgrim. I have nothing to say to you. Fuck it, I'm just gonna throw a car at it. When in doubt, throw a car at it. Game casually being hard is my favorite part. Yeah. I do gotta admit, I actually do kind of like that. Damn, war doesn't play. Gotta find another chest. Where's the other one? God, the world's fucked up though. You know, this is just an average stroll through Detroit though. Yeah, the entirety of Darksiders takes place in Detroit, if you guys didn't know. Shots fired. Look, I live. You shots fired. Yeah, just like in Detroit. And I would know. I live there.
Feed Vulgrim's hunger. Now, maybe he'll feed our curiosity.
Okay.
These ancient gates have a mind of their own, but with this, you may reach an understanding. Beyond the gate, seek out Samael's prison. Once, Samael was close in power to the Dark Prince himself. Some might even say, a threat. You will find he is no friend to the Destroyer. Seek me out when you've gathered more souls. I will make it worth your while.
Pretty glad I grew up in Florida, raised by a Florida man. Just hightail it from Maine for seasons instead of of summer eternal, Lamau. Hello. Hello, Mr. Giant.
The horn call of my ancestors, awakened at last from the dreamless sleep. Then we are free.
None are free while the Destroyer still breathes.
Do not miss the hurricanes. I would assume not. I would assume not.
To his service we are bound, though enemies we remain. So his enemies we call friend. Pass now, friend. Most bring victory. Most bring freedom.
Come on, and not again. It's.
I can't wait to find out what's behind it.
I don't know why my fucking controller keeps disconnecting. It's so weird. I have it plugged in too, so I don't understand why this is happening. Maybe I just need a new controller, chat. Perhaps. Hi, cutie. Hey, Fox. How's it going? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a bit. Guess I'm not the only one who needs a PC repaired. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I kind of need it for school too, so that's the thing that sucks the most. Climb up. There has to be a way. I don't think I can grab that yet because I don't have the grappling hook yet. Forgot so much about this game. Tried to rebuild my PC and I just got a setback about 5K. Oh. Yeah, you basically have to rebuild your entire PC. That's... I just love how he just headbutts the fucking door to open it. God of War, please never change. There we go. Gotta beat this jailer, which is the first boss.
Drumheimgul Stragador.
Non straga sindura.
Do you know what's imprisoned here? There are things even you should fear, horseman. Once you are strong.
I want to cry. No need to cry. I'm sure it'll get
you are alone.
It'll work out, I promise.
Knows of your coming. Even now, he moves his legions against you.
Then I'll make this quick.
Take this fool's life.
I have a 3090 shit and shit was great for about 2 weeks and now I'm back to where I was struggling to stream. Did you get the warranty on it? Because that 3090 should not be like that should not like bug out after like 2 weeks. I'm cutting your boys in half. I don't think that's gonna be possible, dude. Just saying. It was covered and it was fucked 3 ways to Sunday by my fucked motherboard. Yeah, I feel like all you need to get is like a replacement motherboard for it and like a compatible CPU. Like, That was easy. We gotta open his prison.
Over here.
Yeah, I feel like all you really need is like a new motherboard.
Just one.
Or did like the motherboard cause like a short in your like actual GPU? Because I'm wondering if it caused a short in your GPU. Yeah, long story short, but basically I ended up buying a very defective Gigabyte B550 that fried every GPU it touched.
Are you here to play?
Oh shit.
They should have sent all 4 of you.
I have no interest in killing you, Samael.
Ah, the Destroyer! He's beyond your reach, beyond mine.
Has prison made you a coward?
Perhaps there is a way.
And then whatever files were left in my storage ended up fucking up 4080 and a 4080 Super. Jesus Christ! That's a lot of money worth of fucking GPUs.
And ask me no questions. My reasons for helping you are my own.
Where can I find these guardians?
First, seek the Twilight Cathedral, where the Bat Queen Tiamat has gone to roost. The whole of her domain is a blistered inferno. By land, you will never reach it. Find the high ground with this, and bring me her still beating heart.
God, Samael's so cool in this game. He's always been one of my favorite characters in Darksiders. Shadow Flight, awesome. Dope.
Samael has returned you in one piece. On your journey, you may come into possession of certain items that are of particular interest to me. Artifacts of the Fallen Legion.
So someone else is likely to end up in my place. Really bad thing is when we took it back, the store put the board back on the what the fuck? No, they shouldn't do that. That's fucked.
You are as wise as you are.
Really want to get the scythe. Need to save up though. I forgot you can actually get one of Death's scythes in this game. They're actually really good weapons. What the fuck? How did I do that? Yeah, my roommate was telling them what happened and they just stuck an open box. What the fuck? That seems illegal. Yeah, I wouldn't go for PC parts at that place ever again. Yeah, that seems illegal. That I like that uppercut move a lot. That's actually really useful. Like, where did you get where did you like get the GPU? Was it like from like, it wasn't from like Micro Center, I hope. Because if it was from, if they put that on at Micro Center, then you can actually report that. The motherboard was? Oh god. They just put that shit back on the shelf. Oh, okay, that's all right. An open box motherboard, yeah, that's not good. Because if Micro Center did that shit, you can actually report it to their company and they'll like sort it out. Things people would do to just hit numbers. Christ. Okay, here we go. Grab onto the ledge here. Go. Climb up this way, go through this abandoned subway tunnel to the choking grounds. I'll let my community know this is a place. I feel like a goth girl would like to get fucked there. Oh, they're into choking, I guess.
Great.
The choking fields. Literally what it's called. Yeah, I really hope they do this combat system for Darksiders 4. I really do, because I'm sick of Souls-like games. I want more combat like this. Because I want like insane juggle combos and shit like that. Like, and the thing is that this combat's pretty good. The combat in fucking like Darksiders 2 is even better because they went ham with the fucking hack and slash style combat. I don't know. I like Souls games. Don't get me wrong. Like, I just like. I'm kind of tired of it. Because you can't really do like those that crazy shit in the Souls-like game without mods. Don't get me wrong, I like Souls-likes. It's just like, unless it's made by From Software, I'm very hesitant to play them typically. Like the developers for Lords of the Fallen actually sent me a code for their game, and I'm tempted to play it, but it's like, why? Like, why should I? Because it just, I guess it just doesn't interest me. That is so satisfying. All right, let's head into this crypt here, see what's in. Oh, this is one of Fulgrim's little items. I can give that to Fulgrim, and then I can calling him Fulgrim. I'm sorry, I'm too Warhammer pilled right now. Because I'm almost done with the Fulgrim video. It's just like,
see anything you like.
Controller. Again.
Let me know if I can help you.
Whirlwind combo.
That is what.
Okay, let's head down this way. Gotta defeat this bat demon. There's something up here. More souls. Down here, though, I wonder. here we go. Let's fly up here. Yeah, you got a Wrath Shard. That's good. Where the fuck do I go now? I gotta go down this way. Yeah. There we go. Hello, Sasa. Is this your first playthrough of this game? No, it's not. I've played this game before, but I've never finished it. Also, I've never heard someone call me Sasa before. There you go. First time for everything. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, shit. There we go. Dead ass bloater. Okay, so can I get some more upgrades from Vulgrim? I'm wanting to get as much attack upgrades as I possibly can. Yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is with my controller, chat. Like, it keeps like shutting down when I go to different menus. I've been having problems with my controller lately, so I might need to get a new one.
What would you ask?
Head this way so I can go to the Bat Demons area and then take her out. Also, have you played any of the other Darksiders games? I've beaten Darksiders 2, and then I've played this game, but I never beat it, and I've never played Darksiders 3.
I have come for the Destroyer.
My brother spoke of your coming, but a powerful curse holds me now. I cannot help you.
Any curse can be broken.
Yes, perhaps. These servants of the Destroyer walk unseen within the realm of shadow. By their blood we are bound. By their blood shall we be free.
I can no longer
Okay.
move within the Shadow Realm. Much of my power has left me.
You need not enter it. I will grant you the power.
Oh yeah,
to
they're
see
so
to the
try-hardly
accursed
edgy.
realm for a
But it's okay.
time. But to what end? What hope have we now against the Destroyer's foul sorcery?
Hope will not bring you freedom.
Surprisingly, the second game isn't as edgy as this game. Surprisingly.
Find where these shadow lurkers hide and kill them all. It can't be that hard to find.
Yeah, see, like, I don't know why, but like my controller, like every time does this. Like it immediately shuts down randomly and then I have to like replug it in. Not sure why that is. I feel like 2 is just as edgy, and yeah, these games are so edgy, but in Loop's background to being campy. Yeah, but like the second game, you also go to like different realms and stuff like that. Like there's like the craftsman realm.
Surely this is no challenge for the likes of you.
Okay, open the fucking gate and I'm gonna tear that eye out.
I always knew you had it in you.
Okay. To destroy 3 more of those, I think. I forget which ones are the easier ones. Got 400. Talk to Volgrim.
What would you ask of this home?
Let's head to this one. All right, here we go. There we go. Fuck yeah. Okay. Alright, there we go. Slash. There we go. Fucking dead. Yeah, you better open the fucking gate, you stupid eye.
Always knew you had it in you.
All right, 2 more. I really do wish this game had like a sprint button of some kind, because you don't get your horse until much later on for some reason in this game. Because like Death starts out with his horse like outright. In this game you don't start out with your horse. I find that weird considering he's called, you know, a horseman. He's just man now. Yeah, he's just man. He's not horseman, he's man. Where is it? There we go. Hey Killer, I thought your thoughts on Darksiders 4? Well, we better I want to play as all 4 horsemen. And I want them to go back to the hack and slash style combat. I don't want them to do the Dark Souls shit that they kind of did in Darksiders 3. Yeah, like more like 2 than 1. Because I still want there to be like some exploration. But I want like every character in that game to have like a distinct playstyle. I don't know how they're gonna do it like with all 4 horsemen. Maybe you can like swap to characters on the fly or something. I don't know. I have to wait and see what kind of gameplay they have first. was fucking close. I'm just praying it's not that one Overlord game, Codemaster they did that looked top down. Yeah, Darksiders Genesis. Yeah, I hope it's not Darksiders Genesis. Like, I liked that game, but it wasn't really a Darksiders game, if you know what I mean. It felt like more like a spin-off. Because it was meant to be a prequel to the first game, and it wasn't really a true Darksiders game, you know? Like, personally, I just always wanted... I miss hack and slash style games. Like, cause I don't know, maybe it's just the Souls games fatigue, but I miss like the old school style hack and slash games like this. Oh yeah, I get the scythe now.
Old Vulcan's got something new for you. What would you ask of this?
Now I have one of Death's scythes now. Very nice. Okay, I mean, if you look up Overlord Fellowship of Evil, yeah, that's hours I'm not getting back. Yeah. Okay, we've got one more gate to do. Here we go. So I gotta launch enemies. One thing I will say is that the combat challenges do feel kind of tedious. Block counter.
That's empty. Can we do it again?
No. No, we can't. Oh, no, we can't, Watcher. No, we can't.
Must be the last of them. Let's get out of here.
Ancestors praise you.
Increases war damage with environmental attacks, weapon enhancements. Where do I go? Oh. just headbutt the door. Right. Forgot. Okay, there we go. Open the fucking door by headbutting yet again. I swear to God, like War's head, it must be made of titanium or something. I mean, he's pretty headstrong. Why did I instantly think of that song where it's like, back off, I'll take you on? Like, you know, I feel like that would be like War's anthem. Like, I could imagine like an AMV of War with that video. Actually, that song kind of fits fucking War actually pretty well. Got a Fulgrim store or a Volgrim store down here. Fuck off. Fuck off. Give me my motherfucking money, bitch. Fulgrim, you gotta clean out your fucking basement. Goddamn, dude, seriously. You want to have a good business. Where is he anyway? This way. Okay, let's see here. Go up the stairs. Here. Oh, fuck it. All right. Just fucking die, you stupid demons. I know I say that being a demon myself, but I'm cooler than they are, so shush. Yeah, that is so much fun to do. Like, that is legit a lot of fun to like just like bounce around between enemies. Another lifestone shard, which is good. Now, if I recall, there's an enemy that appears behind me and starts attacking and throwing shit. Maybe it's not this section, maybe it's a later section. Nope, it is this section. Damn it, fuck. Thank God. Right. That was easy. Downstairs. Slice and dice, hit him with the scythe. Boulder's key and take it over. Hopefully we can open that key in there and then we can get to the fucking bat demon. This is the plan anyway. God, I miss games like this. You know, just fun hack and slash style video games, you know? I miss them. Angels, god damn it.
This way.
It's nothing. Some demon trick.
I know what I saw.
He's right.
Uriel.
It's there, beneath the stench of this place. You can sense it, ancient. From neither the White City nor the Black Depths. Something lost between.
Oh, it's this turret section. Okay. It's the one where you're riding the griffin. Why do they need to ride on a griffin? They have wings.
Slay him!
What about to make the joke funny how two fell to their deaths despite having wings? Okay, we need to get through this blockade of angels. Jesus Christ. Fucking Christ. Alright, who do we got here now? It's demons, yeah, it's some insectoids. Hey Sharky, how you doing? Stop nomming on my fucking desk. Oh God, that's a big boy. Come on. Come on. Come on, you giant bat demon, die. Damn it, fuck. You gotta really get that Pika checked out because it's not good on your tummy. Yeah. Really should. Finally. Oh my God. That was rough. Okay, come on. Okay, please, please. Please target them. Fuck's sake. Thank God. Man. There she is. that hurt. Well, she'll be kept busy with the griffin. I can invade her compound.
Tiamat, I assume? Guess she wasn't up for having visitors today.
Yeah, you think, Watcher? I don't think she was down to have visitors today. Just saying.
Over here.
This. A blade to mount on statues. What the fuck? Like some warp tendrils or some shit like that. God, no. Roller again. God damn it. This always happens. I do love how you can kind of insta-kill all the bats. Kind of weird that a bat demon would be lurking in a cathedral. Alright, there we go. More fucking enemies. Okay, that's great. All right, move in over here. I think I might try to hit a checkpoint here and then take a break and go get some food. Remember those things? I do need to get some food because I have not eaten yet today. So. I just need to get to a proper checkpoint real quick first. Get over there. Wrong way. Like I latch onto a couple of bats that fly over there and then kind of jimmy my way up, but I don't. Again, with the fucking controller, seriously. This happens all the time and I don't know why. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go get some food. I will be right back, but afterwards I think what we'll do is we'll continue on and try to face Tiamat. God, I love this game. I've only been streaming a couple hours and I've been having a blast. So stay tuned for more and I will see you guys in a minute. I'm just gonna say that publicly in the middle of a firefight and just watch them like be like, what the fuck?
Oh.
He instantly went for me. I don't see it.
It should be on the ground somewhere.
Yeah, I see the lighter and the passport, but like, you're.
Oh, wow. There? Oh, disgusting. Ooh! Oh, I finally made it back. Okay, but I can't.
First pass. Oh, okay. The one you just passed, and then what they chose, yes or no.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say like baby.
Honestly, I kind of wanna know what my dick feels like in the flower.
The flower.
You know.
I'm gonna be honest.
Baby, it's like a. Have you ever seen a pitcher plant?
Uh-huh.
He's coming away.
Get off my damn lawn.
Coming away. He's right there. He's so tricky right there.
I'm just looking at all of you through this window.
Does he not see us?
I don't know if he cares.
He's trying to get stars.
What?
No,
What's he doing?
He didn't see us.
Oh my god, I wish I could have clipped that. Oh my
please, someone clip that. That's oh fuck. If I'm not mistaken.
You're non-stop with the dinos.
Because fuck you, get on the floor, everybody walk the dinosaur.
But Hydras.
But dinosaurs.
But Hydras.
But dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs can't fly really unless it's a pterodactyl.
But dinosaurs.
But Jared.
But dinosaurs.
But fucking Hydras.
More fucking dinosaurs. such a good girl. Ada. Fucking Optimus Prime. Just,
I mean,
at that point, you're just confessing that you want to fuck a car. Of course you play the sexy sax right there! Are you fucking... Ah, God. Okay.
Someone clip that, please, please, please. Somebody, clip it.
Somebody clip it.
I can't. I'm doing tonight.
Sorry, I'm too busy being sexy as Catwoman.
Chris,
Follow them.
Town, thugging with my rounds, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
Huh? Every day, it's a getting closer. Please don't put your penis in a toaster.
I wonder what it feels like though. There's probably good reason I'm not a guy.
Honestly, if you were a guy, I have a feeling you'd die.
Probably.
She made it move, but now I'm just like, I want it. I want it. I want
No,
it.
disgusting is watching someone suck a spaghetti noodle into their mouth through their lip piercing.
That shit nasty.
Why do you insult the Italian man like that?
Oh no. I don't know.
Hello, I think, or something like that.
Something weird.
There's something so funny about just the gun follow-up.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat you up, beat you the shit out of you, with my fists and this gun I found.
I just love it, like it does a flurry combo, with your katana, knocks him into the ground. He's just barely alive. Just all right, execute.
Guys,
He's being carried away by a shopping cart. Oh no! Oh no!
I can't move. Help!
Look at the health regen.
There's no health regen.
There's no health to regen.
If it's in the game as it counts.
I don't. This shouldn't be possible. But it is.
No, Hero, I didn't hear about that. But I am happy that Hololive got a Victor.
How? Please clip it. I need to send this to the devs.
Okay. Hero, you heard him. Clip the invincibility.
Oh my! No! Wait, can I revive you? No, I can't.
I'm dead. I died. Physical. What killed me? I died.
Shit. Oh my fuck. Oh no.
Here lies Carsey loved his thievery and alcohol. Lies has SpongeBob, no. Thanks for pain. What was it?
do not have time. I will set up the match for the next ranking battle. Make sure you kill them dead.
Sylvia, I still need to talk to you.
I don't. What is going on? Welcome to. I don't, baby, please don't make me play Outlast. I really don't. I really don't want to play it.
I'll be honest, I just want to go over there to buy the toys. I can't.
What kind of toys are we talking about? I mean, what?
The DX ones and the ones that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm moving on.
You're gonna get dumped. You sure
Hey, what toys? Never mind. Don't answer. We're not.
Garson's starting a Bad Dragon collection.
Oh, sweet. That's ooh.
You're gonna be
Wait, who's it?
You sure you want to get
Oh my God, Gunbun. Wait, no, wait. What's gonna happen?
Leaving a whole lot of questions that don't need to be answered.
An excellent design, like absolutely, like an ocean goddess. Like that is such a unique concept for a VTuber, right? Like it's so pretty. It is such a pretty design. All right. And I'm back. Okay, so let's continue on. We're still technically in the tutorial. Okay, so wait a minute. Hold on. I forgot about this. You have to knock down one of the statues. Okay, now I remember. Dad, I just needed food. Right now I'm struggling to use voice meter banana, super confused, not at all making any progress. I'm honestly not getting how this improves mic quality. Have you looked into like tutorials on YouTube and stuff? Because that's how I learned how to use it, was through YouTube tutorials. I know it's really confusing, but like once you get the hang of it, it will improve your mic quality. By the tutorial you showed, but I'm stumped because there's so much other stuff in the way. Like what? What's the issue? like what kind of stuff is in the way, Magic, because when I'm using my audio source, I can't hear anything since that video was made for Windows workflows and not Windows 11. Everything looks different. Huh. Not sure. I'm not sure what the issue would be. I'm really overwhelmed. Well, the best thing I can tell you to do is to take a break from it. Just try not to focus on it too much. Take a break from it, and then I have something that enhances my listening audio called a Realtek high definition audio, but I can't shut it off. I hate tech stuff. Yeah, I feel you. Oh, I hate these guys. A wide range of attack. Sure about that? Okay. No, I understand that tech stuff can be confusing, but the best thing I can say right now is I don't know the situation, the situation with your software. And I don't really, and I can't really like physically like help you right now, but I think Voicemeter does have a Discord for their support staff. Over here. So I'm sure like someone in there would be more than willing to help you out. If not, there's probably a page where you can look for help and stuff. Maybe I should just take a break while I have an emotional whiplash from my antidepresso not hitting, and I just want to scream because the doc really isn't helping. Yeah, I think it's just, you just should take a break from it, at least for now. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That's not. Oh. Oh, fuck. This is not good. Damn it, fuck. Damn it, fuck. I should have dodged to the side. Okay. Hi, Killer. Darksiders 4. Hell yeah. I am excited for Darksiders 4. I have no shame. I am gooning for Darksiders 4. Very bold statement. I am also gooning for Darksiders 4. Bro, like Darksiders 2 is like one of my favorite games of all time. Let's push this over. You're gooning, Roxas is gooning, and any other gooners I should know about? My entire community goons. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure my entire community goons. I think this is where I have to fight 2 of them. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is the other secondary weapon, the glaive thing, or not glaive, chakram, whatever the fuck it is. Okay. Oh God, what the fuck are you? I don't remember these guys. Damn, what the fuck? Hold the... Okay. Go from here. Oh, okay. All right. Up, and we'll move over here. How do I imbue it again? What is... In-hand traversal, fast dash, throw for... View crossblade. Crossblade can absorb arcane energy. Press right stick and then aim. Oh. That makes more sense. Oh boy, more fucking puzzles. That's great. I love puzzles, chat. I love puzzles. Turn that into Fulgrim, and then oh shit, almost fucking fell. Do you think Darksiders 4 would be like Space Marine 2? Not really, no. In terms of co-op, potentially, but no. I don't think it would be like Space Marine at all. Alright. That's cool. Head across the bridge. Okay. This way, and then wait for it to turn. Out of range, shit. Okay. Okay, we got that one done. We're just gonna do the other two. Yeah, I will admit the puzzles are a little bit tedious in this game. A little. Like, I would argue that the puzzles in Darksiders 2 are a little bit better. And I don't even like puzzles that much. Grab this chest. Okay, we got it. Now let's go through last puzzle. Hopefully we should be able to get an elevator up to the Bat Demon. Alright, we got the key, which is the Wrath Shard, which is also very good. I guess go back this way. Yes. Move on past this door. There's a doorway with a key in it. God, I love this combat system so much. Again with this bullshit with the controller, god damn it. What's this? What is it? It's supposed to turn into like a bridge or something? It's gonna be a combat arena. Yep. Oh God. You look not fun to fight. Listen, you got a little something on your shoulder, bud. Just saying. Oh shit. Hold on. Does this every fucking time?
There must be some way to rupture this meatbag's fleshy spots altogether.
Got stabbed in the fucking back. Oh, that's fun. God, I love this game. What the? Okay, I don't understand why the fuck my controller keeps doing that. I apologize, chat, that I don't know what's wrong with it. of range. There'll be some kind of lever I can pull or something. Oh, I get it. Okay. I get it. Okay, head back. I do hate the backtracking you do have to do in this game. Of course. All right, where do we head next? Gotta head over to the lever and turn it so that we can get the other platform raised so that we can cross over and get the holy sword so we can unlock the door to kill Tiamat. Right? That's what we need to do. Damn it, fuck. Oh, thank God. Right, I forgot. Then I gotta fight 2 of those things. Yep. The part I was getting stuck on. I remember this part being difficult when I was a kid. There we go. Oh, first try. That makes me wonder, was this like a part of the human civilization or the demon civilization? I can't even tell which sometimes. How do I get back over there? How in the fuck do I get back over there? Oh, right. Fly. I forgot. Yeah, I don't really like all the backtracking you have to do. That was, I forget that was actually a problem with a lot of games back during this era. Was backtracking. I'm pretty sure now we face Tiamat. If I'm not mistaken. All that to unlock one fucking door. Jesus Christ.
Has the council reduced the horsemen to common assassins?
I forgot she has tits.
But your loyalty. Because if you offer Satyr Rider, perhaps we can strike a deal.
You won't like my terms.
Yeah, I forgot she has tits. Alright, Tiamat. Fucking kill ya.
This will not end well for you, horseman.
Oh shit. God. Can I please? Thank you.